Hello, my name is Mark and I thank you so much for coming by today. The point of this tutorial is to kind of just talk about how to take the drawing that you did on a piece of paper and separate the line from the paper in the quickest, simplest way possible. So I had this little drawing of a chicken that I did on a piece of copy paper using a Sharpie and a thin Sharpie, and I did a little sketch with a pencil. But now I want to take this and I want to make it digital. I want to do something more with this than just have it on a piece of paper. You can see the sketch lines in there, and that's what I want to try to get rid of first, is get rid of those sketch lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Image, and I'm going to go into Adjustments. You can use brightness, contrast, you can use levels, curves, or exposure. Any of these will work. I prefer curves. So in Photoshop, I'm going to use curves. And what this is going to do is this is going to remove any extra information that I don't want, any little artifacts. So using the slider or the little kind of bar in the middle there, I like the slider because it gives me more control. I want to reduce the input of information into this drawing. So I'm decreasing all the little artifacts and sketch lines. Once I get to where I want it to be, I can then say, okay, click OK. And boom, the sketch lines are now gone. My line art looks a lot cleaner and fresher, and I can begin the process of colorization. So here we have a two-step process. One, you have your drawing right here, and I'm going to create a new layer. That layer above it is a blank transparent layer, and if I try to paint on this transparent layer, you'll see here that I'm just painting over the drawing, which is not what I want. So the drawing layer is fine. There's no problem there. This is raster art, by the way, and raster art is different from vector art, which I'll get into in a minute. So here I'm painting my Photoshop colors, and I'm painting on top of this little chicken character. Now, I want the line art to be seen through that, so I'm going to go to my blend options and choose multiply. And what multiply does is it takes that transparent layer with the color on it and it sort of drapes it over the line art, and you can see all the color that I've put on that layer, on that transparent layer, will show through, but it does not interfere with anything below it, meaning that line art retains its quality. So the multiply is just going to make things darker, and because I have black as my line art, it's not going to affect it at all. So this is a great way to just work on your drawing and color it and take your line art that you did in a sketchbook or maybe on a scrap piece of paper and add some color to it. Now, this has been going on for many, many years, decades. I've been using Photoshop since Photoshop 1, and this was a feature that I remember finding in Photoshop 3 or 4, and I've been using this ever since then, and this is how I've worked professionally. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm using my select tool, the lasso tool, and I'm just going around the chicken character and selecting the area of the body that I want to color next. I want to color this yellow. And so I'm just loosely just kind of selecting it. I could hand paint it, but this is a quicker option to just select everything and then choose the color I want and then go over to, I'm going to make a new layer for this too, and I'm going to multiply that layer too. You can do this as many times as you want. I like to keep my colors separated, but I'm going to go to Edit and then Fill and then choose the foreground color, and boom, there it is. I've got yellow. So the body of the little chicken character is yellow. It's on another layer. It's not on the line art layer. So again, it's going to drape down over the colors and over the line art, and it's going to multiply downward. So what I can do is I can go ahead and erase using the eraser tool any colors that are overlapping, say the pink color of that worm, and I can just edit those out. And I can also edit out any areas like the eyeball that was filled in that I didn't want. Now the same thing goes for Procreate. It's the same process. Basically, I'm just going to open Procreate, open my document, the photo that I took of the chicken character, and I'm going to put that into here. I'm going to add a new file, insert a photo. I'm going to pick my photo. Here it is, resize, and now we're at the same stage we were at like we were in Photoshop. Again, Procreate is working with raster files, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So once I get everything set up, I got my brush set up, You can see that it's the same process as Photoshop. If I try to draw on the line art, it's going to draw on the line art. And I don't want that. I want it to look like it did in Photoshop, where I can multiply a layer and bring it down through. Now, the thing is, you can do it either way. One, you can multiply your line art layer, or you can multiply the transparent layer. If you multiply the transparent layer like we did in Photoshop, then the color you add is going to drape over the chicken character. If you reverse it and multiply the chicken layer, that drawing layer, and keep the transparent layer normal, then the line art will drape over the color. And I'll explain that in a minute. So here we are, just the way we did in Photoshop, where I multiply the transparent layer, add color, and it drapes over the line art. And it's the same process. And you can see here, again, I've got sketch lines in here, so I can get rid of those. It's the same process I did with Photoshop. So I go to my chicken layer again, my drawing layer, go to curves, and again, I'm going to decrease the input and get rid of the artifacts, those sketch lines. You can see here, just sliding it over to the left gets rid of those. Once I get to a place I like, I'm all set. So now my line art is cleaner. It's the same exact process as in Photoshop as it is in Procreate. And that's the beauty of these two applications. Now here again, this is what I was saying before. If I change the transparent layer to normal and then change the drawing layer to multiply, here I'm changing that to multiply, and I go back to, now see, I'm going to draw on this. This is drawing on the drawing layer, the line art layer. I don't want that. So I'm going to go back underneath it to the transparent layer, which is now normal, and I'm going to paint on that. You can see that the line art is now multiplied, and that is draping over the color. And either way is fine. I actually prefer it this way because I like to keep my line art on the top layer, and then I like to draw underneath it. Again, you can make as many layers as you want, the transparent layers for different colors. If you want to do the feet or the beak or the worm or the bird's body or the sky or whatever, you can make different layers for that, or you can just draw on one layer. Now, the whole point of this is, just to make it easier for you if you're trying to do this process, trying to get your sketchbook drawing and color it digitally. This is the easiest way I know. Now, here I'm in Adobe Illustrator. I've opened up my document in Adobe Illustrator, and this goes right in there. I don't have to import anything. I just opened the chicken drawing right here. And now I'm going to a feature called Image Trace. It's a tool in Illustrator that I absolutely love. So you select your artwork, you go down, click Preview. You'll see that you can see the drawing. Here, when I click Preview, it will change it so you can see what it's going to look like as vector art. Now, this is what I was saying before. There's raster art and there's vector art. Vector art is a geometric based format where you can basically manipulate mathematical points. You're converting your drawing into mathematical points, and you can manipulate them based on those points. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm using the threshold to get rid of any artifacts like sketch lines. The further to the left I go, the more information it's going to take away. Further to the right of the threshold, I'm going to be adding more. It's kind of like curves. I wouldn't call it curves, but it's very similar. And this tool is great because you can use color, you can use black and white, whatever you'd like. Once I'm done, I'm going to hit the expand button that's right there. And that expand button is now going to basically commit this to being vector format. Now, Adobe used to have a program called Adobe Streamline, it did this just by itself. And about 15 years ago or so, 20 years ago, they integrated Streamline into Illustrator, which made me really, really happy. I love this process. And so now what I'm doing is I'm using the magic wand tool. I select all the white areas and delete those, and that leaves me with nothing but black. And if I just use my wand tool, my lasso tool, to select like these feather areas, this wing, you can see I can move it around, and I didn't grab all the points, so it's going to stretch those points out. Again, this is converting it to vector art, which is based on geometry, which is based on mathematical points. And you can see here, I'm pulling those points outward. I just selected a few points and I'm pulling them forward. Now, usually you don't need to manipulate this stuff, but you can clean up your drawing or you can adjust your drawing a little bit. And it's different from Photoshop or Procreate because in Photoshop or Procreate, that's kind of like a photograph, and you can manipulate the photograph uh, differently than you can with Illustrator. And what I love about Illustrator is that these points, once you select like this eyeball here, I can enlarge this, and it doesn't change the quality of that eyeball. Meaning, if in Photoshop, if I were to try to do this, it would get blurrier as I got bigger. And in Illustrator, it stays the same because it's mathematical points. Those points aren't going to change, and the quality of the line isn't going to change. It's just going to grow. And it's amazing, that whole process. So what I can do is I can now copy this illustration. This is a 5 by 5, 5-inch by 5-inch drawing. I'm going to now make a 100-inch by 100-inch drawing. And so here's the workspace for that. And I'm going to go and I'm going to paste in my drawing, my little chicken guy. So he's right there, but he's tiny because he's only 5 by 5 on a 100 by 100 frame here, canvas. But what I can do is, if I use the scale tool and I enlarge that, you can see that because it's vector art, because it's those mathematical points, I can now enlarge it to 100 inches by 100 inches. You can see on the ruler, this thing's huge now. So vector art is great for turning your line art from your sketchbook into any size you want. You can also customize in Illustrator. You can repeat it. You can create patterns. You can do all kinds of things in Illustrator that it just is wonderful. I can color this illustration in Illustrator. I prefer to color it in Photoshop because I have more control. But you can certainly color it in Illustrator and retain, again, that mathematical format thing. So if I go back to Photoshop and I create a new document, 5 by 5, just like my Illustrator guy, or just the size of the actual drawing, I'm going to make it 300 DPI, which is print quality, and I'm going to hit paste. And what that's going to do is it's going to paste that vector art into Photoshop. So now I can do the same process where I have my two layers. One is a multiply layer, one is my line art layer. I can color it, and here you see I'm going to multiply this, and it's the same thing. The difference is the line art is much cleaner. It's much tighter, and it's coming from a vector file, and that's what I love. It's coming from that Illustrator file, which the great thing is, if I can manipulate this drawing and create a new drawing out of this, that's great, but I'll always have my Adobe Illustrator file to manipulate later if I need it. And they're very small files in Illustrator. That's what I love too. The reason I'm doing this demonstration is because I unfortunately have seen on TikTok and Reels and videos of other artists providing the same tutorial, but they're using way much more complicated techniques, using merging, using masks, using blending tools and blending options that are just kind of crazy. So I hope this kind of two-step process is helpful for you. I thank you so much for coming by and watching. If you like this video, please let me know what your thoughts are and how you do this kind of work. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd love to bring you more content like this. As always, I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much again. And as always, God bless.